LouisDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louis Diamond. 5, or make that 4 handicappers today. 2 in the first segment, 3 in the next. That's 5 altogether, but Louis Diamond doesn't count as 2. He's only one person, but they're all here for one purpose, and that purpose is to help us make some money. With that said, coming up on today's show, we have some NBA, some Major League Baseball, and some early picks on NFL and college football. All right, here, let's welcome back those 2 gentlemen here in the first segment, Louis Bag of Diamonds and Tony Gullidge. Gentlemen.
Hey, good morning, Brad. How are you?
Good morning, wonderful. Brad. Louis, can you tell us a little bit more about Bettor Center, how we can get in touch with you to make and fatten up our wallets, get some good information?
Bettorcenter.com or LouisDiamond.com are the fastest ways to get a little more detail about my history and what I've done over the past 35 years. But I guess some of the highlights, HBO gave them 500 picks over 5 months and made them $50,000 back in 1997. So I'll give you a little idea what kind of dinosaur I am. Been on ESPN, been the Fox, FX Sports. Actually have been around quite a long time. So if you go to LouisDiamond.com, you'll get a little more information of what I can do to help you out, and love to hear from you.
Diamond, you remember yesterday we were talking about it. I said, are the Nuggets to play right now? They're down 2-0. They lost game 2 on that butter beater by Anthony Davis. And here was game 3, and the Nuggets beat up the Lakers pretty good.
Yeah, yesterday I was very reluctant to pick a side in the game, and I did reluctantly pick the Nuggets. And then right after that, Ross gave me a little nudge towards, this could be the end. And I really thought, well, maybe Ross hit the nail there. The surprising thing was everybody on the under yesterday, and that game soared over the number, never moved, 214. So at least I got that one right.
Yeah, that was a good call. Tony G, you weren't with us yesterday, but you're here now. What did you learn from yesterday?
Well, Denver definitely got the job done and got the win. Lakers made their big push right at the start of the fourth quarter. I think it was an 18-2 run that got the game within 3 points. But you could see the Lakers were roasted. Their legs were gone. There were several possessions. Anthony Davis simply walked up the court. Denver hit the big shots late, got the win, sets up a 2-1 series. I still think the Lakers are the team to win this series, but Denver's definitely going to be competitive, and they're not going to lay down.
Did you learn that Carolina's 0-2 and Teddy Bridgewater struggled a little bit week 2, but it's still early. Don't worry about it. We appreciate you sporting out that uniform.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me on the 0-2. The only thing I can hope for is a repeat of the Jimmy Clausen season where he went 2-14, but in return, we were able to draft Cam Newton. So if we're going to have a bad season, just make sure you have a really, really bad one.
Excellent point. All right, guys, let's start with game number 1. Celtics at Heat. This is game number 4. The Heat up 2-1. This opened Celtics -2.5. Currently, it's at -3.5, but the over-under opened at 210.5, and now 212. We'll start with you, Tony.
Yeah, game 4, big game in the series here. I think Boston made their statement. I think Miami's going to win this series, and I'm going to take the 3 points tonight based on the fact these games are going to be close. I really do think each of the remaining games of this series are going to be played very close. I think Lou's pointed out that the under something. It's hard to say for sure about the total, but for definitely the Great White Capper is going to back Miami tonight.
And who is Louis Diamond going to back?
I'm not backing anything here. I'm just rooting for the Celtics. Very worried about the Celtics. Certainly not going to lay 3.5 points with them. The under has kind of been the pull, the thoughts going in, but 2 out of 3 over. So I got no vibe on the game. What else can I tell you? Let's move on to the next one.
That's exactly what you're going to tell me. And I'm going to tell you, do you have anything special in Major League Baseball today? A lot of games going on. We'll start with you, Louis D.
Well, I guess in baseball, let's just make it as simple as possible, guys, and I'll make it as quick as possible because it doesn't really make sense to do much anything else. The Minnesota game under, Minnesota-Detroit under, is the train that I'm riding. Yeah, I could give you different stuff every day. Well, you could, but I'm trying to sell a point home, guys. The point home is Minnesota under. And back to you, Brad.
All right. Thank you, Louis D. Tony, anything going on in baseball today? Who do you like? What do you like?
I'm recommending a play on the Braves run line. Freed is on the mound. The Braves are 9-1 in his 10 starts. The run line is a little trickier with him, but that's why you're going from minus 170 on the money line to plus 115 on the run line. So it's a pretty big gap. There's been 3 instances in the 9 wins where the Braves have only won by 1 run. So you go from 90% winning his starts to 60% winning by more than 1 run. But you're getting plus 115 on that run line, so you're getting better than the money value on that. So for me, the play Braves run line plus 115.
All right, guys, we'll go to NFL or college football. Anything going on in football, we'll stay right with you, Tony. Any early picks?
Well, I like tomorrow night. I'm looking at this South Alabama game. I'm seeing them getting a touchdown. I'm seeing the people from their conference are playing well. They haven't, they won a 13-point underdog straight up on the road. They came back home. They basically blew the game to Tulane as a 10-point underdog, and they lost by 3, easily covering. At no point in that game were they not going to cover the spread. So I look at this. UAB's coming in, the easy win their first game. Then they got a pretty good, thorough thumping from Miami, which now that we've seen Miami come alive, you wonder how good that win is. I'm skeptical UAB land a touchdown here. I think the best value is going to be on a team that's performed already, got two covers under their belt. No reason not to think they won't get a third as a touchdown underdog at home.
What about in the National Football League? We have a huge Thursday night football game, the Battle of Florida, Jacksonville, Miami. Anything interesting yet?
I'm looking over this NFL game. I tell you, Miami's going to be tough to take on the road. Jacksonville as a favorite. This is really a tricky game. There's going to be a lot happening. I'll have definitely more information on this game tomorrow. Maybe let's check with Lou and see if he has anything on this one.
Yeah, that's a great call there. Let's check with Lou. Anything early on football, college or pro?
I have to concur with Tony on the San Antonio. South Alabama. I'm thinking the other game. Here tomorrow as a home underdog, 5 straight covers at home, 6 out of 7 covers overall, 5 straight covers as a home underdog. So I think they're in position. We're getting a touchdown, potentially even a little money line play there tomorrow on that game as well. So we'll have a lot more with that one tomorrow. As far as the other game, Ross and I are going to chat a little bit about that game later on.
All right, guys, before I send this to Tony Cusimano, the man on the street, is there anything else Major League Baseball or NFL or college football that you might have forgot that you want to bring right here on Better Center Live?
I'm good right now because I got a few other things to talk about. Tony, you got anything else you want to add?
I just wanted to maybe touch on that Raiders-Patriots game Sunday. A good matchup. You got the Raiders at now 2-0 after their nice win on Monday night. They withstood the early storm from the Saints and were able to come back, scoring on 6 of 7 possessions. I was pretty astonished by what I was watching. I thought, I gave the Saints defensive front a little more credit. And, it reminded me of the Ann Sullivan. Her student was Helen Keller. David Carr, his student was David Weller, or with the Weller kid, the tight end. I mean, he used that tight end over and over and over again. You wonder who's covering. It was like the Saints secondary was doing Braille out there. They were the Helen Keller. Couldn't find this guy anywhere on the field. Raiders with a big win. Patriots, Cam Newton stuffed at the goal line, or they were going to get a road win at Seattle. Damn near threw for 400 yards. I guess the question of whether Cam Newton can still be an NFL quarterback has been answered. So you got the Patriots coming off a stinging road loss at the last play of the game against a hot Raiders team off a huge Monday night win. I think it's a very intriguing matchup this Sunday.
Louis Diamond, anything to add or subtract from the great Tony?
No, I think Tony gave us all a nice mouthful of stuff to chew on here. It is definitely an interesting fact. Are the Raiders after, the first win was kind of expected, but after the big win on Monday night, going on the road, Patriots, big loss on Sunday night, coming at home, all the history lines in favor of the Patriots. And I have a tough time backing Raiders just because of their history. I guess when you have a long-term history, you got to turn it around before I kind of want to back them. Gruden, everybody's got all the hype on Gruden, but he's got a losing record as a head coach. So, and a terrible record against the spread as a head coach. So Raiders 7-15-1 on the road. All I could say is New England is definitely the look, and I'll probably have them teased somewhere.
All right, guys, thank you. That's segment number 1. Coming up next, Tony Cusimano, the man on the street. He's somewhere in Tennessee. Is he at an Elvis museum, or is he going to break down one of the games for us? That's coming up next on Bettor Center Live.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. Tony C. here, your man on the street, and I'm actually back in the Music City. Not anywhere near the Graceland Mansion in Memphis. I am in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA, home of the Vanderbilt Commodores of the SEC, the Southeastern Athletic Conference. And the reason why I am here is not so much to focus on the Commodores, but on the entire SEC conference. We have every year, obviously, we've got the championship format now of 4 teams. All 4 teams this year could be from the SEC. When you look at Vanderbilt this weekend, they play actually at ranked Texas A&M. I believe Texas A&M is 10th or 11th in the nation. And next week they play at LSU, 6th in the nation. Then you've got the Florida Gators that are number 5 in the nation. Georgia's coming in at 3 or 4. Alabama number 2. Kentucky is 23rd in the nation. The Tennessee Volunteers are 16th. Auburn, I think, is 8 or 9 in the country. So we've got a pretty much a stacked conference, or a powerhouse of a conference. That was really the reason, why we're here at Vanderbilt, because as we know, the Vanderbilt football program is more of a David versus Goliath every Saturday. When they play somebody, they're actually 30-point underdogs going into Saturday's game. So basically here we're kind of looking to dot a few I's, cross a couple of T's. Let's look at the Southeastern Conference here. Georgia's at Arkansas this Saturday. So we've got a lot of SEC matchups this weekend to be looking at. This is a powerhouse conference, and basically, does that mean just because Georgia's 3rd or 4th in the nation, are they going to be in the top 4 in that seeding of the playoff bracket? Does Texas A&M sneak in there? A lot of it's going to be with the scheduling. I mean, this year you don't have a lot of out of conference games. It's all in conference. If I'm not mistaken, Alabama is at Missouri this Saturday. So a lot going on in the SEC conference. Aside from all of that, I'm going to throw it back to you, Brad, in the studio. I want to get your guys' feedback. Tony, Louis, Bag of Diamonds. What's going to happen this year in the SEC conference? It's the most potent conference right now because we have no Pac-12, obviously, being canceled, and a few other conferences are out of they're not in because of the coronavirus here. So your thoughts? I'm going to throw it back to you guys in the studio from Nashville, Tennessee, Vanderbilt Stadium, home of the Vanderbilt Commodores. Take it away, Brad Stein and Louis Bag of Diamonds. What do you got?
Thank you, Tony C. Welcome back to Bettor Center Live on LouisDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louis Diamond. I think I just saw Jay Cutler walk right behind you and give you some bunny ears. I mean, he did play for Vanderbilt. He has nothing better to do. Let's bring out those next 2 handicappers. One of them goes by the name Chip Chirimbus. The other, Ross Benjamin. They're good friends. They're from the East Coast, and they're here to help us make money. So now we're in segment number 2. Welcome, guys. And Louis Bag of Diamonds will also join us.
Always
Great
a
to be
pleasure,
here,
Brett.
Always a pleasure. All right, we'll start with you, Chip. What did you learn from yesterday?
Well, I had this all lined up for you, and it just escapes me right now. No, I learned that the
LA Lakers are in trouble. They have two people that can play basketball, and there's a load of nothing else out there. I was really surprised the way Denver just took control and charge of that game yesterday, and I think the Lakers may be in trouble. I really expected them to walk over the Nuggets in the entire series, and it looks like I'm mistaken here. I mean, the second game came down to the final minute and final shot. Davis makes it, and Lakers move on. What I saw last night, maybe that half point and the changing of the colors of the uniforms means that much. I doubt it, but I think the Lakers now are questionable where they were so strongly favored to win it all.
Ross Benjamin, it's just one game the Lakers lost. Are they in trouble? What did you learn?
I don't know if they're in trouble. Maybe they should go to purple, Chipper, because white and yellow. Yeah, turquoise, where the money is. Look, I'm as transparent as they could be, and Chipper is too, and I know Louis is as well. I liked the Lakers yesterday for the reasons I said on the show. And you know what, Big Lou, sorry I got you off that game, but it happens. And here's all I could say. I got to give the Denver Nuggets a lot of credit. I thought that they'd be a worn-down team mentally and physically, especially after losing that heartbreaker in Game 2. But, hats off. I mean, they continue to show character and resiliency, Brad, beyond imagination in these playoffs, overcoming 3-1 deficits in the first two series, now looking like they're dead in the water, and they come up with the effort they did yesterday. And the Lakers actually look like the tired team, So sometimes you're way off, and that's one of those situations I was, Brad. So we move on to the next day.
Thanks, Ross B. I just don't like to bet against LeBron James in this position just yet. Louis D., do you have anything to add?
As far as what I've learned yesterday, as far as the Lakers, I don't have much to add because I'll be honest, I'm not following the basketball as heavily as a true gambler should, so I kind of keep my mouth shut on that too much. But no, nothing more to add. Go.
All right, guys, we'll move to game number 2. That is Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins at the Jaguars opened up 44 over under, and now is currently at 48, and the Jaguars currently are -3. We'll start with you, Ross Benjamin.
Yeah, real tough call here. Miami played Buffalo right down to the wire last week I guess right down to the wire. They scored an by-the-way touchdown, but they did have a fourth quarter lead in that game. So against a pretty good Buffalo team, albeit they were missing their two star linebackers. Jacksonville's been a surprise, guys. I thought they'd be one of these teams that goes 2-14 and they'd be out of most games they're in. And last week they showed a lot of heart as well before losing by 3 on the road. So very intriguing matchup. I think we might see some points scored here. I think both defenses are vulnerable, and Gardner Minshew has played very well in the first 2 games. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, against a young defense like that, he's still a savvy veteran and capable of moving the team. So I would take a look toward you having an excuse to play the over, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, Chip, what's the interesting or the good, the right, correct play in this game?
Well, whoever knows the answer to that question. But there are conflicting trends on both sides of the ball here. Miami, of course, we said got the cover last week, which is wonderful for some of their backers. And they're 10-4 in their last 14 games overall, but only 7-15 on the road against the points in their last 22 games out there. Jacksonville now all of a sudden is becoming an NFL fade. This is the team everyone was looking to fade 2 weeks ago. Everyone was on Indianapolis in game 1, and Matt Rule from Baylor comes over and shows what organization and good coaching can do. Minshew goes 19 for 20, comes back on another spectacular game last week. They're in the mix right now, this Jacksonville team at 1-1. But, they're 4-1 overall in the last 5 games against the number, but only 2-6 as favorites. Guys, I'm going to fade Jacksonville here. I think the momentum is too much. Now, all of a sudden, they go from like the dregs of the NFL to everyone's darling. I'm not going to buy it. I may get beat. Maybe it's because I'm a Dolphin fan at heart. So I'm going to take Miami here.
Thank you, Dolphin fan at heart. Louis Bag of Diamonds.
Well, I'm gonna roll with Chip's theory here a little bit, but I'm not gonna back the Dolphins, but I'm gonna think that the game smells because Jacksonville does look well. Minshew's, he's just looking phenomenal, and if he is going to be this kind of quarterback this year, he should take care of Miami. They opened up at a pick 'em, now up to 2.5. If you like Jacksonville, you got to probably get on it today. I got the feeling it's going to be 3. The total, that movement on the total, I'm sorry, it is 3. It's already 3. My bad. So it'll probably stay a solid 3. I guess Pinnacle's got a 2.5 still hanging, minus 23. But that over, I think it's. I don't know. I'm a little worried. A 48 in a Jacksonville and Miami game just doesn't scream over to me. Yes, we got 2 different ball clubs, a whole different scenario this year. But 6 out of the last 7 have gone under. These 2 teams are historically under teams, and now they get steamed to the over. And but Miami has 6 straight overs on grass. So, but 8-2 for the Dolphins to the under on Thursday nights. So does that history play tomorrow night? Not enough for me to bet on it. So 6 out of the last 7 under head-to-head. So I think it's it's not a knee-jerk reaction. There's a reason why they bet this thing over and steamed it hard. I'm not confident in playing it, especially on the back end at 48.
All right, Lou, let's stay with you. Game number 3, college football. UAB out at South Alabama opened up -6, currently at -6.5. Over under open 49.5, now 47.5. What are your thoughts for this game?
Yeah, I just covered this one with Tony. Definitely feel like South Alabama has the opportunity as the home dog here. So let's see if these guys have anything to add.
All right, Chip.
Need to get a cover. I mean, they open against Miami, getting. I'm really not too interested in this ball game. I've got some other things that I'm very heavy on this weekend. We're 4-0 in college football last Saturday, and I'm looking to add a 5th game this Saturday. So this is not one of them, I can tell you that. And I would probably lay the points on the road here.
Is this one for Ross Benjamin? That is the question of the day.
It is. It is. And I'm still trying to figure out how Matt Rule is organized Jacksonville because he's the coach of Carolina, Chip. Anyway, I love you, buddy. Anyway, UAB is this is a team that's gone 10-6 since the start of last season. And 8 of those wins have come against foes that have a combined record. They had a combined record of 19-79 last year. In addition to the fact South Alabama's looked pretty good in their first 2 games. They covered both as an underdog. Now they're a home underdog again here. The Sun Belt's done very well. I have a lean here towards South Alabama plus the points against UAB.
All right, guys, game number 4. Now, this one, if the other game didn't get you, game number 3, Middle Tennessee State at UTSA. Who is that? That's the University of Texas at San Antonio. This is a football factory. Opened up -6.5 UTSA. Now it's -6.5. Over under opened at 58. Now 60. We'll start with you, Ross Benjamin.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you break this down statistically, and it seems like a no-brainer. Middle Tennessee 0-2, and they've been outscored 89-14 in those 2 games. Middle Tennessee in those first 2 games has allowed 580 yards rushing. UTSA in their first 2 games 2-0, and they've rushed for 559 yards. Average time of possession in the first 2 games for each team, both teams. Middle Tennessee, 24 minutes and 13 seconds. UTSA, 39 minutes and 29 seconds. I don't know. I mean, numbers don't lie and liars don't figure. Certainly seems like UTSA should be able to jam the ball down Middle Tennessee's throat and really, other than turnovers, should have no problem covering this game. Again, when it looks too good to be true, I need to do further research, but that's my initial impression at the moment.
When the glasses come on, Chip Chirimbus gets serious. I saw the glasses come on for about 15 seconds. This is serious.
This is serious because you and Ross have really helped me out here. Number one, you explained to me who UTSA is. I had no idea. And I also obviously had no idea who the head coach of Jacksonville is. And who is it, Ross?
Doug
know.
Moron. Doug Moron.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Chipper, no, really. So
I want to say this. Chipper makes a mistake here and there. He's having senior moments, but the damn guy picks winners. Who gives a shit who the coach is?
I don't pay attention to players' names or coaches. I'm
exactly.
Still impressed
Play
with
fantasy if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'm still impressed with Matt Rule, no matter who he's coaching. And this game, it's all yours. You can. Who's the Mid Tennessee? Are they the Flashers? What exactly are them? What is their moniker?
Blue Raiders.
I'll take the Blue Raiders. I mean, boys are blue color, so they should be macho.
I don't know, man. You gotta like the Roadrunners. You just can't get caught with the Roadrunner. Ain't no coyotes out there catching the Roadrunners this weekend. I think the money's there on UTSA. I agree with. I'm gonna agree with Ross. As hard as it is to go with Chip and his color coordinated handicapping, I am still going to have to roll with Ross here. And so if this line doesn't go from 6.5 to 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, I'd be really worried about my money, and I'll be ready to get off at some point.
Put the turquoise on the Roadrunners, Louis. The turquoise.
That's it.
Turquoise bills you've been putting in.
Got them turquoise diamonds,
SEC
baby.
football, guys. Some real college football. SEC, we're back. Kentucky at Auburn, -10. Over under 49. Let's start with Ross Benjamin. I know you're itching to get on this
down
play.
To 7. Am I mistaken? Did it go back up to 10? Yeah.
No. Okay, 7.5. Yeah.
Right. So, a big early move on Kentucky, and that in itself lends me to take a real good hard look at the underdog here, because you got an Auburn team that's perennially a powerhouse in the SEC, usually a bridesmaid to Alabama, even though they've had some success in recent years against Alabama. And then a Kentucky program that's known more for their basketball than their football. And we've seen early steam move here on Kentucky. So I'm going to look for a reason here, guys, to support the underdog. I'm not willing to commit without doing further investigation, but it seems like an awful fishy move to me.
Got it. Note taken. Hey, Chip, is the Kentucky coach John Calipari? Yes.
Well, I know Kentucky wears blue, so I'm going to be on the team in blue. And I have one other question. Do you guys actually know and understand that the NFL has like a fashion color coordinator that puts together what colors these teams are going to wear? It's on Thursday night. I can't wait till tomorrow night. But anyway, and I'm sure that the public is going to be all over Auburn on this one pretty heavy. And I think Ross made good sense with what he said about that initial move, bringing it down. Auburn's going to be awful tempting. Kentucky's 5-2 as a dog in their last 7, so I'll take the Wildcats here. And Calipari can coach anywhere he wants, as far as I'm concerned. He gets 6 to 8 fresh player that's never played together before, and every year is still in contention. Making those guys get together is what the Wildcats need in football this week to beat Auburn.
One and done, baby. Louis, bag of diamonds.
All right, well, Mark Stoops, the coach of Kentucky, says that he's going to ease into this season with the game against Auburn. He said it wholeheartedly, jokingly. He knows he has his hands full, but maybe he feels like he's got a little confidence with a fourth-year freshman quarterback. So maybe they have a little confidence. Maybe we're seeing something behind the scenes going on that we don't know about, but the point spread's showing it. But I can't see playing Kentucky until something's shown. Auburn's got a solid quarterback in Bo Nix, and I believe that he's probably poised to have a decent season. I'm going to look at Auburn maybe on the teaser. I'm not a big teaser college fan, but I might throw them in some teasers here this weekend.
This is the most interesting part of the show here on Bettor Center Live, because it's the most interesting play of the day. We're going to bring back Tony Gullidge from segment number 1. And we will start with you. Your most interesting play of the day is who
Turn your mic on.
There it is.
Series is tied. Yeah, series is tied 1 game each in the NHL Stanley Cup Final. I'm going to back Tampa Bay to take a series lead here tonight. That's going to be my most interesting play is the Tampa Bay Lightning in the NHL Finals. Back to you, Brad.
Anybody else want to jump in? I guess that's to me right now. How about that? All right. So my most interesting play of the day, I'm going to cap on it again. Just do it, guys. Minnesota, Detroit, under. We'll cash the ticket. Yesterday it pushed, but so that means today's going to be a moneymaker for it. Minnesota, Detroit, under. And current number right now is 8. And 8.5 under minus 15. Mize and Maida on the mound. Back to you, Brett.
Chipper, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah.
All
right. I guess Brad's not around with us right now. Yeah. I have a game where I like the side, but not necessarily the price. I'm going to stay in Major League Baseball. Milwaukee, believe it or not, is a game behind Cincinnati now for the chase. You have 6 teams going to get 4 spots in the National League. And Adrian Hauser starting for Milwaukee here. 1-5 on the year, 5.33 ERA. Last 9 starts, no wins, 5 losses. In the 4 games where he got no decisions, the Brewers actually won those games. But they're 3-8 against right-handers, and they're 3-8 on the road. So Milwaukee's a team to fade here, and they're up against Trevor Bauer. Off to a great start, was 4-1, has lost his last 3 decisions, but he still has a whip of under 1. It's 0.82. 88 strikeouts in 61 innings. Very difficult to hit. I think Cincinnati has got their momentum. They won 8 of their last 9. We were on them early in the year, and they were struggling, and now they seem to really be coming through for us. And I hate to lay in $1.55, $1.60, but I think Cincinnati's the winner here. You have it.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati also, Chipper, they've won 8 of their last 9 following a loss.
Right.
So I'm leaning toward that play with you. Even though it's a high number. I'm going to look at the Cubs and Pirates, guys. 7:05 p.m. Eastern time. The total opened at 8 in this game. It's up to 8.5. Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, and this guy has been dynamite at Wrigley Field the last 2 years, but he's been vulnerable on the road. So his ERA, if you look at his ERA on the road this year, about 4.50. Not terrible, but in comparison to home, it's night and day. And Trevor Williams has struggled all season long. As a matter of fact, the Pirates have gone 7-3 to the over in Williams' 10 starts, and there's a good reason why. Williams had a 6.70 ERA in those 10 starts. Williams' last 3 starts overall, a 9.39 ERA. I like the steam here that's gone from 8 to 8.5. I think we're going to go. I know we're going to go with the Cubs and Pirates over 8.5. And Louis, I don't know if we lost Brad, but I'm going to turn it back to you to wrap things up.
How did we lose Brad? Well, I mean, come on. I didn't. Oh, you know what? I might have shorted.
He had a date. Yeah, he had a date.
All right. All right, guys. So listen, I will be back tomorrow with the wise men of handicapping. And I'll even let Chip join us as well.
Poor Chipper, man.
Tomorrow on Bettor Center. So let's join us again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific. Come on, I'm trying to get my little alien to go on. There he is. There he is. All right, guys. We'll see you here tomorrow on Bettor Center. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube at Louis Diamond, so you can get the information as soon as it happens. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony C. And the 10th city in 14 days or wherever that nut job is now. So we'll see you here tomorrow on Bettor Center Live. What?
There he is. He's back. Are you all right?
Dude, what are you doing?
Are you okay? He's goofing on us.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
What the?
Hey, the door's
You're going to have to give him a raise.
in the bathroom.
Brad, Brad, where are you at?
He's got to go to the
You're bathroom.
He's
Open
picking.
the door. I
You're
gotta
up
get back
next.
Brad, you were still on screen.
Oh my God,
He's doing a
Brad!
Roth man.
Open the door.
This can't be true. It can't be true.
I think he's,
I hope
think
not.
he's finding a winner.
It's,
for
Hey,
everybody.
Ross. Ross, I can tell you. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Wait a minute.